What is going on here? I think we are live. This is all going haywire. What's going on here, people? Hello? I think we're live. I'm assuming we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. Yep, we are looking like live, and it is the SA Under-20s versus Argentina, the final of the Under-20 series down in the Stellenbosch. The Argentinians are already pumped up, going to the end of their anthem. Nothing if not passionate are the Argentinians, and they'll be looking to try and do one over against the Junior Boks after they went down to the Junior Boks in the group sort of stages. Yeah, it should be quite an interesting game. Apologies for not being able to do. I was really keen to do a double stream, and I still haven't had time to change the studio. So we were supposed to be doing Junior Boks versus Argentina at the same time as Ireland were playing against Japan, but they changed this. So this game was supposed to kick off at 1 o'clock. And then they moved it to 3. So I thought, maybe I'll start with Japan and Ireland, but it's just been a disaster of a day in terms of preparation because we are all focusing on the game later. You know, we are the British and Irish Lions versus the Lions tonight. So that's been sort of my key focus. Trying to do something really, really cool for you guys. And yeah, it's taken a lot longer than we thought it would be. So literally, we're still currently busy prepping for tonight, but I let you guys down earlier by not coming on an hour earlier, so I thought maybe I can't not miss this game as well. But hopefully we're in for a very good game. A couple of changes for the Junior Boks. Busy trying to pull up their team now. Obviously, no Jordan Hendricks in the squad. He is in the side for the for the Sigma Lions tonight against the British and Irish Lions. Probably one of my favorite players that I'm excited to see tonight. It should be a really, really good clash, and I'm really excited to see some of the youngsters just having a go at the British and Irish Lions. I think it's a bloody good British and Irish Lions squad that they've named. So I really like that Ivan van Rooyen was saying that he just wants to have a go tonight. He says, they're not expected to win. They're they're the underdogs and stuff like that, so they're going to embrace that. They're going to go out, they're going to have a go, and whatever happens. If they lose, they lose. But what's the worst thing that can happen tonight? I'll tell you what the worst thing that can happen tonight with the Lions versus Lions. The Lions can repeat their score, I think it was like 72 or 75-3 or something, one of the biggest victory margins in British and Irish Lions history. So let's hope you don't see it tonight. But for now, everything is all focused in on Newlands down in Cape Town. Match official today is Devon Ace, and he's assisted by Dylan November and Ashley Jacobs. So if we're looking at the Junior Boks side, lots of players back into the side, the likes of Kewan Horn, Tyler Box, Ethan James, Sasha Imgonzulu is the fly half today. Bobby Alexander is back in at number 9. George Keneal captain the side at number 8. Cian Ngiza, and then Jacques Huisson, who actually started as hooker in the last game, is on the flank today. Jan Hendrik Wessels, Corne Veilbach are back in the front row, and Andre Hugo Fentu came off to really good effect against the Georgians. He will start at hooker today. Conditions look perfect for some running rugby down there as we look to get underway. And Ngomazulu goes just short of the 22. It's a very nice kickoff for him. Solid take from the Pumitas. Speaking for the game, the head coach said that he's very happy with the side that he's picked today. He said he reckons this is the strongest side they've got down there. So very much full string. That's a phenomenal take by, I think it's Kewan Horn. Underneath that, Argentina winning a penalty though. Unfortunately, yeah, it was a good take by him, but he was off his feet by the time he took it, which means it was very easy for the Argentinians to get over the ball. They win an early penalty down there. It's a bit of a strange to see Newlands, that the Western Province having moved to the Cape Town Stadium full time. Newlands kind of not really being used at the moment. You can kind of see already sort of renovations are in place to kind of basically demolish it. So bit of a sad time for the Western Province supporters who are big fans of Newlands. And you know what? Actually, my clock's been giving me a lot of issues, so I'm actually just going to say it's the first half, and we'll just kind of go with it from there. It says half time. We're just going to make that first half. Because in trying to prep for later, we will have the clock for later, don't stress. It's kind of messed up a lot of things now. So, yeah, it's the first half at the moment. So, Argentina are inside the Junior Boks 22. Trying for a box kick was the Argentine scrum half. It's been charged down. And the SA Under-20s were surging ahead, but I think offside was Ngiza. conceding another penalty there. Would have been brilliant if they managed to get away from that, but Argentina now going to go for poles. Pretty much in front, about just beyond the 10-meter line, so it shouldn't be the most difficult of chances. Yeah, it was well charged down here by Henk van Veek, and then George Cornier, and yeah, and you can just see the number 7 was which is Ngiza, was offside at the time, wasn't allowed to play that ball. Nice charge down by Henk van Veek. The Lions outside center, very exciting player he is, very highly rated. He's probably one of the most explosive young players in the world at the moment, so hopefully a big future for him up in the Lions. I mean, we are what? 3 hours away. 3 hours away from kickoff tonight. That's the big event that we are. So a bit of a taster, a bit of a teaser for until then. As Argentina has gone to the left there, the kick. That is not a particularly good effort from the fly half today, who's Ramiro Weisberg. Kicked quite nicely when they first played against, but that's not a particularly good kick from him. So the junior Boks getting away with that one. Ngoma Zulu will get things underway back here from a 22. Starting to go on the left here and try and give himself a better angle. Right, so he goes deep towards the halfway line. Ooh, Argentina was shaping up for the up and under, but he's put that far too far. And Ngoma Zulu can just slow it down. Now sees a bit of space down the right-hand side. It's a very nice touchline by the SA under 20. So they'll get themselves into the Argentina half. Quite a big game from Ngoma Zulu here. I wasn't particularly impressed with him in his game against Georgia. Quite highly rated as the young fly half, but he struggled a little bit. So it's a nice start for him there. Seeing a bit of space, a bit of game management. John, let me know if you're watching the game, if you've been watching any of the series, what you thought, any players that are standing out for you in the series. Also, as you can see on the top right there, we are past 2,000 subscribers, so fantastic. Thank you so much to everybody who's been subscribing and been with us for the journey. It was a phenomenal stream last night, and that's what's got us really over that 2,000 mark. And hopefully that by the end of the tour, we can go even further than that. But Argentina now with a penalty on the halfway line. They had an advantage and then kicked over the top, which South Africa read well. So playing the man in the air is the call, so we'll have a penalty for Argentina on the halfway line. I have no doubt they'll sort of pump us towards the corner and try to go again from the set piece. That's a decent kick there. They've got a line on the 22 to the Argentina 20s, the Los Pumitas. Go to the front of the line, and that's very well worked. Big moment here for the wings. So oh, is he grounded? I think he has. No, out and touch is the call. It was a brilliantly worked move there, and Ignacio Ruiz storming down the blind side completely. He just ran over Dalvin Blood there. I think they said it's a. I think they're saying it's a forward pass. No, so it's a penalty. I think they're saying that sorry, it's short time. It looks like it didn't go 5 meters off the short line up there. Looked a bit harsh, to be honest. And that could have actually been a try. It was very well worked from the Argentinians. And yeah, Dalvin Blood, not his finest moment, got completely steamrolled by Ruiz. And there's a messy line out there from Argentina. You knock the ball forward. Let's play it on though for South Africans. Dalvin Blood now kicking it back into the Argentinian half, and they'll reply with a kick of their own. The space down the left-hand side has been identified. Ngoma Zulu now seeing some more space. It's a very nice touch finder from him. So we'll restart with a line on the halfway, which is, I think, about the third line on the halfway. It's kind of where we're just sort of setting up camp at the moment. It'll be Argentina we put into the line out. Nice little kick from Ngoma Zulu, looking much more assured than he did in his first start. It was his debut against Georgia, so I don't think we can be too harsh. It really looks a lot more assured tonight. Now Argentina try and get a running more going on the halfway line. It's well set up. They've gained a couple of meters. Still going. They've peeled off to the right. They've peeled off to the right. They're still going. They're past the 10 meters and they're still going. Oh, the Argentinians. This is a great maul. Junior Boks a little bit everywhere at the moment. And they're still going, are the Argentinians. They're almost up to the 22. Eventually, here comes the shove from the Junior Boks, but the rest of their forwards come piling in. It's still available. It's still available. This is brilliant and very nice handling there. Now eventually they use it, go to the back line, who decides to go switch down to the left side. That's a big tackle. I think it's Mingiza there. So Junior Boks managing to peg them back a little bit after conceding about 25 meters from that maul. Under a lot of pressure here are the Junior Boks. Argentina now going towards the right-hand side. Sort of a fleet step there from Argentina there. And the number 13 getting over the advantage line, so it's available for Argentina. Then number 10, Weisberg, who's trying to step it around. And they've got another advantage, and it's another penalty for Argentina. So the Junior Boks, a little bit under the cosh here, conceding quite a few penalties. They almost conceded a try. And I reckon this is a nice position. Yeah. Weisberg will have another opportunity to try and kick a goal here. And it's a very, very good start from the junior Argentinians. All over South Africa at the moment, who pretty much haven't had any possession in the Argentina half, actually. And my stream has gone down, so this is going really well. It's going to be one of those days, isn't it? Okay, so Weisberg now will... Yeah, he's pretty much bang in front, same as last time, so it really wasn't a difficult kick, and he'd be disappointed with the last one, but I think he should be able to make amends here. Taking an age here. It's looking better. It's looking better. That's a much better kick. Straight down the middle. Advantage Argentina. They take first blood down in Cape Town. And it's the fly half, Ramiro Weisberg, who gets the scoreboard ticking. Almost 10 minutes into the game now. Junior Boks haven't had any time possession in their own half. It's all been pretty much one-way traffic. So they'll have a nice opportunity now to try and get themselves into the Argentinian half. But it's a good start from Argentina. You can see why the way they sang the national anthem, they were very pumped for the game, very keen to try and win the series. It is a bit of a final. Nice chase there off the kickoff, and Los Pumitas don't manage to get there out of the half. And Kieran Horn just slipping as he takes into contact. It's the second time he slips there. The big carry there from Simon Miller. You got Fenter with a nice carry there. Bobby Alexander a little bit slow off the ruck. He's been wrapped up by Argentina, but his teammates do come in and they've managed to win it back. Meters looking to try and challenge at the breakdown. 5 phases for the Junior Boks. Ngoma Zulu now sorts a little space down the left-hand side. And it's going to run too slow. It's going to run there. Not the best kick there from the flower half. It's a bit of a waste, actually. You can see the idea. There was nobody behind for Argentina, but just the kick very well and badly placed. And it runs over for the dead ball. It's a very nice jersey that the Junior Boks have got. Tell you what, if I could buy that, I reckon I would. To be fair, I could buy most jerseys. I'm a big jersey fan. Just trying to decide which one I'm going to wear for the Lions later. I've got a bit of a selection there. Got a couple of Curry Cup jerseys. Got the one Super Rugby jersey, the away jersey. Trying to decide which one I should actually don for the very big game later. So, first scrum of the day, actually. 11-minute mark. Got Hendrik Wessels in, the powerhouse prop for the Bulls. So, you should add a lot of power to the scrum. And it's a huge scrum from the Pumitas. And they've got a penalty and a penalty. And the Junior Boks being outplayed in pretty much every facet in the first 12 minutes. That's a massive scrum from the Argentinians. South Americans winning that battle. And they'll be able to kick themselves right back into Boks territory. So, the Junior Springboks once again struggling to sort of find their straps. And it's against Jan Hendrik Wessels after saying that he's a big, powerful, and very promising. He's actually the man who gave away the penalty. Yeah. Another rolling more here from Argentina. It's looking good. It's looking good for them. Oh, they reckon that they started a new maul there. A bit of truck and trailer there. It's a poor mistake from Argentina, who had all the go forward ball. Junior Boks getting away with that, so they win a penalty right inside their 22. Obstruction is the call. Ngoma Zulu now will try and kick them out of into the Argentina territory. Or tongue twister there. Finds touch on the 10-meter line, so still inside their own half of the junior box. So early set piece now for Andre Fente, who it's taken very well. I think it was Simon Muller who went up there and taken very good. It wasn't a great throw in from Fente, but he did well to take that. Now Bobby Alexander is going to lift it up. Alvin Blood giving chase as Henko van Veek. It's a good take there from Argentina. And it's a turnover from the South Africans. Very nice turnover. Now Bobby Alexander going down the blind side. Alvin Blood, who shows and goes, gets wrapped up. Ball pops out the back, so it's a bit of Bobby Alexander cleaning up under pressure. Up on the halfway line. It's a big counter coming in Argentina, but they do manage to keep it in Giza now, driven back. Very nice defense here by Argentina. And I think Bobby Alexander is going to go to the boot here, starting to find some territory from the gain line. So they go up, and it's a good take from Argentina. And he shrugged off 2 defenders, has the wing, and 3 defenders. Eventually gets brought down right by the touchline, and Argentina will bash it up towards the middle. But a very nice carry from the number 14 of Argentina, which today is Francisco Caridi. Now that scrum half, Jacquin Ovidio. Sorry, that's Matteo Albanese going up, and they've got a penalty due to the Springboks. In front of the kicker is the call. That's a bit of a get out of jail free. So they'll finally have a bit of time to actually just sort of slow things down a little bit. And they'll go for poles. Will the junior box? Ngoma Zulu will have a shot at goal here to try and level the scores. And Argentina, to their credit, have actually started very well here. Look, definitely the much better side. So where are you watching from? Are we all just sort of eagerly waiting, trying to sort of pass the time until later? What's the chat? What's the chat? How's everybody doing on this Saturday afternoon? It's not too cold in Joburg. Thankfully, Chuba has some very nice conditions for Atsar. Is it going to come in? Is it going to curve in? No, it does. I was about to say, it didn't look particularly good from Ngoma Zulu, but he eventually curls that in, so it'll be 3 points apiece for the 2 teams. Bafana and Tleku, the coach watching on. An internal promotion is Bafana and Tleku, so very interested to see how he does. Looks like the junior box are quite well grilled. We're very interested to see what he has to do in his tenure. Okay, under the high ball there from Simon Miller. 2 locks today, Reinhard Ludwig and Miller. Ludwig's played quite a bit, sort of under pressure after the first game. He's responded quite nicely. Going to the boot are the junior box as well, taken from Argentina on the halfway line. They have to use it quickly as the counter comes in from the junior box. And it's a penalty to Argentina. It's Jan Hendrik Wessels. You just can see, I think it's my 3rd penalty of the day. The Bulls prop, who is very highly rated by Jake White, has conceded penalty after penalty. Not been a good start for him as he comes back into the side after getting the day off against Georgia. Commuters going to the corner, backing themselves with that rolling maul, which has been very effective in the early stages. Bit of a messy win there for Argentina. They do have it though, but a front foot ball here. Inside the 22 of the junior box. The junior box will need to front up. Another advantage offside. Discipline junior box is really, really poor at the moment. It's another penalty. This is very kickable, and I've got no doubt that we're about to see 6-3. Offside is the call. I think it's against Ngoma Zulu. And this is just poor from the junior box. They look a little bit rattled at the moment. Right, Ramiro Westberg, 1 out of 2 at the moment. It was a pretty poor first effort, much better second effort, and he'll be able to try and double the lead. This is as easy as it comes, right in front. No issues there, straight through the middle. Junior box go down by 3 points as Argentina extend up to a 3-point lead. They've just been nowhere really so far, the junior box. They've conceded at least 5 or 6 penalties. Argentina have had a really, really good time with them all. So they've actually had quite an easy time with the Argentinians, and I think had a try off disallowed, which I thought was a little bit harsh actually. So Ngoma Zulu will get things underway. That's a very nice kick. It's a very nice taste from Ethan James. And then here comes the counter up from the junior box. That's brilliant stuff. So they've won the ball back right inside the 22 on the front foot. They're going through Andre Hugo Fenter. Son of Andre Fenter. It's a very nice carry from him. He's a brilliant ball carrier. I reckon we could see him for the Western Province in the next week or two. Solid carry there by Reinhard Ludwig. He's being held up. It's a tackle is called as his knees hit the ground. Junior box, Andre Hugo Fenter. Here he goes again. Once again, making some yards. They're literally 2 meters out from the try line. An advantage for holding on. Well, not releasing is the call. They pick up and go to the junior box. They'll have a penalty here. Bobby Alexander looked keen to stay quickly, but they'll... So here comes the tap and go. It's Jan-Hendrik Wessels, the big prop. Going to the left. Simon Miller. So it's Reinhard Ludwig back to carry that up. They're literally once again 2 meters, and it's been knocked on in the collision by. So it's held up as the call. Managed to keep Ludwig up. They tried to do it last time and almost succeeded. So Ludwig probably guilty of being a little bit upright in the tackle, and they managed to hold him up and force a turnover of Argentina. So that's very good defense. It's the best passage to play there by the junior box after. Big counter ruck to win the ball back right in a very good position, but then probably just getting a little bit over eager, not being patient. They have a little bit of try line fever, and Ludwig just far too upright in the collision, being held by the Argentinians. Very nice little tackle on him, very dominant tackle by the Argentinians. Another penalty. Another scrum here. Argentina won the scrum penalty off their first scrum. You would have thought that something like Jan-Hendrik Wessels, who people are already touting as potential Bok corner railback's a very nice prop. I think the junior box would have fancied themselves a scrum time, but they were completely decimated earlier in the first scrum, so they have a bit of a point to prove in the next couple. I think Jan-Hendrik Wessels owes us quite a good performance at the moment. So I think he's been responsible for about 3 of the sort of 6 or 7 penalties that the junior box have conceded early on. Looks like a much better scrum. It's quite even there. Here comes a second shove from the junior box. Under all sorts of pressure, Argentina. And it's a penalty to the junior box. Brilliant, brilliant response. Exactly what you need. And it's Jan-Hendrik Wessels, the man who won it. After being decimated in the first scrum, they've now come back, and it's a fantastic second shove. They've won a penalty, and the first thing that George Cornier has asked is to have another scrum. This time it'll be a Bok put in. You see, first it looked like it was quite a good contest, and then the power comes in from Jan-Hendrik Wessels. Huge effort from him. And I like the confidence here of immediately a little bit in the faces here. A couple of choice words for each other. Both teams look very fired up at the moment. They always are at the moment. A lot of hormones going with some of these teenagers and stuff like that. They always love a bit of in your face and trying to be, you know, a bit of a big dick competition, really. And it's another good scrum here. It'll be a reset though, but the junior box turning things on now. Penalties is Ireland 26-24, Japan now 33-24, Ireland off 15 minutes. I had it on in the background. It looked like a really good game. So I'm glad that Japan are pitching up. Obviously not the Irish, the best side that the Ireland can put up, but a couple of nice players in there. And I'm very keen. I'm recording the entire thing, so I'm keen to sort of sit down and watch it properly tomorrow. It's just too much rugby at the moment, you know. I worked very late last night, so I missed a bit of the All Black game this morning. Not that I missed much. I mean, 102 nils. It's a bit childish, isn't it? Solid scrum there. Ethan James carrying it up at inside centre, making some good meters here. Front foot ball needed from the junior box, and it's Andre Hugo-Venter. A massive hit on him. Bobby Alexander looking to recycle here. Eventually having to go in himself. So Jan-Hendrik Wessels picks up and goes. Makes a meter. Another pick up and goes going to come here. On Ludwig. Then Giza. Solid defensive from Argentina. Now Andre Hugo-Venter. Henko van Wyk now cutting back inside. Henko van Wyk! Brilliant stuff from the outside center. That's the reason he's so highly rated. He had so much to do. Inside, outside. Puts his head down and he powers over for the first try of the match. Brilliant stuff from the Lions outside center. Probably been the player of the series. Has Henko van Wyk. So highly rated. And you can see he had quite a lot to do. Spotted half a bit of space in the inside. Step inside. And then it was just head down and pure power. Yeah, cuts inside immediately, gets away from one, bulldozes over another, gets over. Well worked from the junior box after quite a few phases. It had to be Henko van Wyk. He's been in sublime all series, and it's another try for the youngster. They take the lead for the first time in the match in the 25th minute. If you like it, the Japanese, Ireland have been average at best, not hugely impressed. Yeah, I'm quite a big Japanese fan. I'm not saying I'm a fan. I just quite like seeing them do well. I think it's quite a nice little rugby project going on there. Ireland are quite disappointing after they looked like they were looking so good for so many years, and I think probably just a little bit off the pace there. Can't say I watch too much Irish rugby, so I don't know what the issue is. But how's Carberry playing at fly half? That's supposed to be the one that everybody is very excited to sort of see. The tough kick from Gomazulu, and he misses out, sliding off to the left from the fly half. So I take off the kick up there from Giza. Been very solid as the number 7 for the junior box. Pretty much all series, actually. Carried the ball quite nicely, quite a big physical player. And the Argentinians have allowed the kick ahead to bounce, and they're under a lot of pressure here as the number 11 for Argentina. Inaki Dalga. Now Albanese will kick ahead. And Gomazulu got all the time in the world inside zone 22. He can look for touch. That's a brilliant touch finder. He's found touch inside Argentinian territory. From 22 to the 10 meter. That's a fantastic kick from the fly half. Going to the back of the line to Argentina. It's a clean win from them. That's a fantastic penalty one on the ground. It's Hurson, the man. Argentina got off the back of the line, trying to save him early more. Wasn't going anywhere, so they picked up and went on the back. And Hurson, who's actually a hooker by trade, playing in the number 6 jumper today, winning the first turnover. And Bafana Ntleko was saying that, he's been moved for a reason, and they reckon there's an aspect of his game where they can bring, as well as having Andre Hugavento, who's a very good ball carrier. And it's probably the ability on the ground, and it was just demonstrated there. It's a fantastic win by him. All over the Pumas player. Position of strength, difficult man to move, low center of gravity, very nice penalty one, and the junior Boks managed to get themselves into Argentinian 22. They'll have it lined up on the 22 with Andre Hugavento. We'll probably go straight into the Western Province setup at the moment. Western Province is in a bit of an injury crisis, lacking quite a few players. And it's Cornier down the blind side. Wheel back with the run. Here comes the prop. Well, didn't break too many land speed records there, but it's a solid enough carry there. Miller, it's a big carry, hit on him. Alexander now going to Hussein. Bosch now, Boks. Very, very nice tackle there by Argentina. Huge in the defense and is knocked forward for the junior Boks. That's just fantastic defense by the Pumitas. Some really big hits there. Very hyped up on both sides. Some very big collisions here. Boks wasn't very well supported there. Nice little lineup move there from the junior Boks. So we're straight to Cornier, who's at the front of the line, then back inside to Wheelbach. Another scrum here. The junior Boks were actually looking much better at scrum time in the last scrum they had. So hopefully, now it's opportunity for them to try and win a penalty. We're very kickable position with them trying to get up to an 11-6 lead. 29 minutes on the clock here, 30 seconds away from the half-an-hour mark. Been very, very even so far from both sides. Territory-wise, junior Boks have been much better in the last sort of 10-15 minutes. They managed to get themselves into Argentinian territory. We had to stop here because there's a little bit of blood on the number 2. I think he scraped his knee. The strapping on the leg. I mean, it's literally a bit of a cut, but I suppose safety is the order of the day at the moment. So rather safe than sorry is the call. Right, after a bit of running repairs, we are ready to get things back underway. It's an Argentina scrum inside 22, right by the poles in the middle of the park. Oviedo breaks off the back. It's a solid scrum there from Argentina. Decent tackle by Ngoma Zulu. And it's offside from the G. That's so poor. That's such a terrible, terrible penalty to concede. There was no need for that. Offsides, they're just, jumping the gun and going far too early. Really, really poor there from the junior Boks. Really poor. Absolutely no need to give away that sort of penalty. And it's another penalty for play. It's just, I mean, I love to see the penalty count. It must be about 10 penalties at the moment from the junior box. It really, really has been a little bit amateur hour so far. And it's Jan Hendrik Wessels. He's given away about 4 or 5 penalties just himself. He has not had a good start to the game, has the Bulls prop. Very, very poor year from the junior box. Just far too easy. They're just gifting, every single time, they're just gifting Argentina penalties and opportunities to get themselves out of their own half, get themselves into attacking positions. And for a team which is lineouts working really well, the Maul's looking very good, that's the last thing you want to do. There comes the rolling Maul here from Argentina. They've got some momentum. They're going inside the 22. They're still going. They're still going. It's a little bit lateral, but as for sideways and forwards, they break away. And it's the number 2 comes away with it. So it's very solid Maul there from Argentina. They were inside the 22. Go for it, ball. The good read from Henk van Wyk, but he's offside. So it's another penalty advantage. I'll tell you what, if I'm the referee, I'm telling George Cunier that another infringement and he's going to lose somebody to the bin. Because it's Henk van Wyk that's come offside there. And that's another penalty. A couple of penalties for offside. The junior box just jumping the line every single time. And they've a bit of a big core here. I think they're looking like they're going to go for the points and get themselves back in the lead. Yeah, there comes the kicking tee. So number 10, Ramiro Weisberg, will get another opportunity to add to his points tally. Yep, no issues there as the Pumitas take a 1-point lead after 33 minutes. Discipline for the junior box really, really is costing them. They've conceded, must be about 10 penalties by now. Lots of them for offside, a lot of basic errors. And I think that's the frustrating thing. It's one thing if you're conceding penalties, maybe you're struggling at scrum time, or maybe you're struggling to stop eroding more and you're 5-meter and stuff like that. But at the moment, it's just being offside and it's playing the ball on the ground, it's not releasing. It's the basic errors the junior box are committing at the moment. And speaking of errors, no, that's a very good kick. Ngoma Zulu almost kicking that ball straight up, but it does bounce just inside the field. So the Pumitas will now have a defensive line inside their own half. Contest there from the junior box, but it is won by Argentina. Scrum having to go himself. No options. A bit of a rush defense there from George Cunier, the captain from the junior box, who looked like he was almost offside there, but apparently timed his run perfectly. Junior box competing on the ground, and it's Goosen once again who's won a turnover on the ground. The hooker playing on the flank today has been sublime on the ground. That's it's the first time he turned it over. Won a penalty earlier as well. Now, quick ball here. And Henk van Wyk losing it forward in the collision. So, just as the junior box started to look good, another mistake creeps in. Really has been a messy performance from Van Atlekel's men. The kicking battle then, and Argentina eventually decide to take it up into contact. They're inside their own half on the 10-meter line. Now going to the boot as scrum off. Albanese. And Ngoma Zulu now going to the boot, spots a bit of space. He's got a big boot on him, which can sometimes be his demise, and like that, it's going right over the try line. So the Pumitas have dotted that down. Now we start with the 22. That's the second time a kick from Ngoma Zulu has gone too far. So he's had some very nice kicks, but sometimes going a little bit too far. So he needs to work on it. It does look a lot better than he did against Georgia, but you can see there's a player in there, Ngoma Zulu. I think it's just a case of him getting a... he's been a bit on the margins, has he? Everything's just a bit of a bounce on the ball, letting him down. And Giza underneath the 22 restart, slips again. It's a very slippery field as Newlands. And he's been held up. Desperately trying to get his knees to the ground, and he does. So it's available for Bobby Alexander, who brings in Reynard Ludwig now going into the back line. Goosen goes to Cornier, who goes to James. Ethan James is ahead. Bobby Alexander. Bobby Alexander's gone over here. What a try from the junior box. Well, something out of nothing there. They went down the left-hand side. Ethan James just kicking it ahead, and sort of no one was aware for Bobby Alexander, who had found himself down the middle, and all of a sudden he had the bounce of the ball stopping up. All he had to do was pick up, gather, and go over, and he does, and that's fantastic. Something out of nothing from the junior box. It literally just looked like Ethan James was almost looking for a bit of territory down the end there. And Bobby Alexander said that's some brilliant support play. Looked very, very close to being in front of the kicker, but I don't think he was. So it's a very well worked try there in the end. Nice kick back inside from Ethan James. The call obviously came in from Bobby Alexander, who's nice and composed, waits for the ball to bounce up favorably, picks up, gathers, over he goes. 13 points to 9. The junior box are ahead. Ngomazulu there failing to convert that try, so it's 13 points to 9 in the last 2 minutes of the first half. Very much in the balance is this game. And Giza, it's a nice solid carry by him. Knock on there from the junior box after the kick ahead. So Prometheus will have 1.5 minutes to try and attack the box. Just the knock on advantage, so they've already lost it. Solid tackle there by Beelbach and Goosen. Now Giza trying to win it on the ground. No advantage of the call for knock on. I mean, they had 2 phases, so I don't know why he didn't call for the advantage to go over. I think that's a little bit harsh, but it's a very nice win on the ground from Giza. He's been very good this entire series. So scrum time here into the last minute of the first half. Junior box with a 4-point lead. 58% territory for the junior box, 42% for Pew meters. That's all coming in the last sort of 20 minutes of the half. First 20 minutes was very much inside the junior box territory, but they've done well to bring things back. Gone straight down for the junior box. They thought they'd won a penalty. The backline was already there to celebrate with them. But just a reset as the siren goes. So this will probably be the last player of the game unless there's a penalty in the junior box. Want to try and go for some more points. There's an Argentina scrum. There was a big scrum from the South Africans. But the siren has gone, so they can just see this off, and that'll be enough for the first half to be able to take in a lead into half-time. Hasn't been the best performance from Atleticos men, but they've had some good moments. They're going down the left-hand side of Argentina. They get up to the 10-meter line. Still looking to keep it alive on the last few meters. Want to try and see if they can get some points before half-time. Oviedo, the 8th man, picks up and goes. There's a knock-on from Argentina. So that will be the half. There goes the whistle. Half-time score, 13 points to 9 down in Cape Town. The junior Boks with probably a deserved lead. Didn't start particularly well. Discipline has been a massive, massive issue for them. So they want to try and turn that around. And unfortunately, everybody, I think I'm probably going to actually have to end the stream here. I've just seen that the software that I use for all this requires an update, and it's been a bit dodgy in the last sort of day or two. So I think that, and they reckon the update will sort it out. So I'm actually going to end the stream there. I don't want to, but I don't want to give myself only half an hour to try and sort it out for later. I'd rather cut this a little bit short and make sure that tonight is all sorted. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to call it there. Thank you very much for hanging out in the first half. Yeah, I hate doing this. It's like it's a half video, so I really don't want to do this, but unfortunately, I'd rather cut this short now and make sure that we're sorted for later. So please come hang out with us later. I've got a nice surprise for everybody. Should be a lot of fun. Should be a fantastic game. I'm going to go and dust off my Lion shirt and decide which one I'm wearing. So thank you very much. Please do like and subscribe. Sorry it wasn't a particularly good stream in terms of being able to do the entire game. We will be later, and we'll make sure everything is going to be sorted. So I'll chat to you guys later.